Introduction: Why traffic is your most valuable resource. If you're going to succeed as an online business, whether you run a blog, a website, or an e-commerce store, then you need to recognize the crucial inherent value of traffic. It's no exaggeration to say that traffic is any online business's most valuable resource and is what will ultimately make or break its long-term success. If you make money from ad revenue, that means that advertisers are paying you to show their adverts to your visitors. You will only be able to strike up the very best sponsorship deals and banner ad deals if you demonstrate that you have a large number of regular visitors coming to your site. Alternatively, should you use a service like Google AdSense, you will get paid per click or per impression. That means you'll earn a few cents for every person that clicks on or views your adverts. That means you're going to need a lot of visitors to your site in order for that to have a cumulative effect and begin earning serious money. Maybe you'll sell a product or a service. Again, the number of visitors you get to your website will directly correlate with the number of eyes on your offering. The more people come to your site, the more traffic you have, the more you will stand to earn. Of course, you still need to convince people to buy your product. But if you don't have people coming to your site in order to learn about your product, then none of that even matters. For all these reasons, traffic should be the number one priority for most online businesses. This should be the main point of most meeting agendas. This should be the single metric you pay most attention to. And yet, that is seldom the case. Too often, we focus on everything but the traffic. We focus on trying to reduce overheads or to sell more profitable products. Maybe we worry about our website design or the content we're writing. Focusing too much on other factors that end up steering you in the wrong direction. The result is that your traffic either stagnates or starts to shrink. And as we've already established, that traffic is the primary source of income for nearly every online business. A paradigm shift in your approach to traffic. This book is a wake-up call and to remind you of the crucial importance of traffic and how to realign your strategies and goals in accordance with that. More importantly, this book is a blueprint to help you gain much more traffic. You'll discover the key factors that are preventing your site from growing right now. You'll learn what the biggest websites on the web are doing to grow their traffic, and you'll learn to emulate those strategies so that you can grow just as quickly and effectively. Quality versus quantity. Even more important than the amount of traffic you get is the quality of that traffic. And by quality, I mean targeted traffic. What is targeted traffic? Simply, targeted traffic is traffic you actively choose based on metrics. Let's say you have a wedding dress store that sells local dresses. What would targeted traffic mean for your business? Simply, it would mean a largely female audience from your local area and engaged. It's better to have 20 visitors a day that fall into that category than it is to have 1 million visitors from another country who are already married. There's more to high-quality traffic too. Just as important as the demographics is the means through which you acquired that traffic, the impression you make on the visitors, and the way in which you market yourself subsequent to gaining that traffic. The best type of traffic is actually repeat traffic, returning visitors. This is something that's missing from so many approaches to building traffic. But there are a number of crucial reasons that repeat traffic trumps everything else. Repeat visitors have experienced more touches with you. Repeat visitors are extremely targeted. Repeat visitors give you a consistent supply of business. Repeat visitors are likely also examples of direct traffic. There's one more factor to consider when thinking about quality traffic, though, and this potentially stands in opposition to repeat traffic. That is, user intent. Intent is a crucial word when it comes to SEO, conversion rates, marketing, and everything else. However, it's also a term that's only recently been given the importance it deserves, and it's a term that many people still don't fully understand. What is intent? Why does it matter for your business? Essentially, intent refers to the reason that the traffic is coming to your site. This impacts on your CLV, meaning that it impacts on conversion rates, also known as sales. Because in order for someone to buy a product, they need to be the right person looking at the right product. But this also needs to happen at the right time. How knowing your customer lifetime value can help you build a foolproof business model. There are tons of different terms and metrics in business. And while it's not crucial to know what all of them mean, understanding at least a few of these terms will help you to earn more profits in less time and make fewer mistakes along the way. Of all those different terms and ideas, one of the single most important is something called customer lifetime value, or CLV. If you understand what this term really means, then you can build a business that will be entirely foolproof and that will guarantee you a certain ROI. SEO Basics: How to use Google to bring targeted visitors to your pages. SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. This means designing your website and pages in such a way as to appear at the top of Google queries. This is very important for businesses that want to increase traffic, seeing as most of us now head to Google first when we're looking for a product, service, or informational website. What's more is that SEO brings targeted visitors to your page, because these are people who have searched for the thing that you are offering, meaning there is a higher than average chance that they are interested in buying from you. So, how do you get started with SEO? What is the process? What terms do you need to understand? Let's look at the SEO basics. The foundations of SEO. SEO essentially boils down to second-guessing Google. More specifically, the aim is to try and understand Google's algorithms. An algorithm is, of course, a piece of code or math that is designed to produce a desired outcome by churning the information fed to it. Keyword search. It's important to know what people are searching for in relation to your products and information. Tools like Google's Keyword Research tool will allow you to get an idea of search volume for specific phrases around particular topics. You can then choose which of those to target. Of course, you also need to consider competition. How many huge brands are also targeting those phrases? Article writing. In order to index the web, Google uses programs that will trawl websites and read their content. This is what Google will use to understand the topic of your site and to make some assumptions regarding the quality. You need to make sure you add lots of new content to your site, as this will create more opportunities for your site to be discovered. Keyword stuffing. Keyword stuffing means inserting your chosen keywords into the content of your articles and some of the code of your website. Your aim is to repeat the search terms you're targeting so that Google is more likely to match your content to that search term. But you mustn't overdo this. Google doesn't want you to try and play the system, as that would mean low-quality websites could get to the top without delivering anything useful. This has been a genuine issue in the past, and it's something Google is keen to avoid. Link building. Links pointing at your website are important for two reasons. The first is that they tell Google your website is popular. It considers each of those links to be a testimony for the quality of your content. The second is that more links means more opportunity for Google to find your website. With all that said, Google doesn't want to see you buying links or using this as another way to try and trick their system. The best links are genuine earned links, which you can gain through meaningful partnerships or by creating content that people will actually want to see. Advanced SEO for 2020 and beyond. Good SEO means understanding what Google is looking for and making sure that your websites and your clients' websites meet those criteria. But great SEO means preempting what Google is going to do in the future. This is a lesson that SEOs have learned hard in the past. People ranted and raved at Google for not giving warning, for not telling people what it wanted. The algorithms are never changing, so you need to do better. You need to get inside the mind of Google to create a future-proof SEO and internet marketing plan. Google is creating a tool that will bring up search results based on natural language queries. It needs us to add semantic markup language to our website. This is additional HTML that will show Google where specific elements are in our content. For instance, If you write a recipe for a nice meal, then your markup language will show Google where the ingredients are. This is how Google is able to show us useful information right on the SERPs, search engine results page, when we search for something. When we ask, "When did Abraham Lincoln die?" Google itself will tell us without even having to click the link. Going mobile. After all, Google is very keen for us to use its AMP initiative, AMP, Accelerated Mobile Pages, which is an open source initiative designed to encourage more site owners to create sites that will load in a flash for mobile users. This goes beyond mere mobile friendliness and essentially displays your entire website on a signal page with minimal Chrome or navigational elements and with a huge focus on speed of loading. It's said that these pages load 4 times quicker than regular websites. At the very least, you need to check that your site is mobile friendly using Google's own checker tool. You need to check it for speed as well as for a responsive design. That means it should change the size and position of elements depending on the size of the screen viewing it. Preparing for the Google apocalypse. So, part of the job of a good internet marketer is looking into the crystal ball and predicting possible futures. That also means you need to have contingency plans for every scenario. And one of the most important scenarios to be ready for is the demise of Google. Either that, or the possibility that Google might de-index you for whatever reason. You simply cannot afford to be 100% reliant on Google for your traffic. So, what do you do? The most important things will be: write fantastic content, build loyal fans, create a social media following, build a mailing list. This way you will diversify your audience and not be 100% reliant on Google. They do say, never have all your eggs in one basket. Content marketing. Yes, content is still king. Content is crucial for multiple reasons. Content is what Google uses to index and understand your site. Content is what brings people to your website and gives them a reason to stay there. And content is what will allow you to build loyal fans that stick with you. We know this is the end goal because we've discussed the value of repeat traffic over and above any other form of traffic. How to write a stunning SEO article that readers and Google will love. If you're setting out to write a stunning SEO article, then you may already have your wires somewhat crossed. More specifically, setting out to write an SEO article means you're probably setting out with entirely the wrong objective. Writing an SEO article suggests that you are writing for Google first and for your visitors second. It probably means you're going to try and lace your article with key phrases and that you're going to come up with a clickbait title for Facebook. But if you read Google's guidelines carefully and paid attention over the last few chapters, that's exactly what you're not meant to do. Google's advice is to write for the reader first and to forget about SEO entirely. The perfect length. One thing that will help you to write the perfect SEO article is to make sure your article is the right length. Ideally, it should be about 1,400 to 1,800 words. This is what a lot of research shows to be Google's preferred length, and it's long enough that you can deliver some real high-quality content to your reader. How to use keywords. What's more is that an 1,800-word article will allow you to include your key phrases a few times without it looking obvious. If your article is 1,800 words, you can repeat your key phrase 5 times and still be well under 1% density. The human factor. Finally, remember that Google doesn't care about you. All it cares about is your readers and whether it thinks they'll enjoy your content. And more, Google is now using human signals to decide this. Of particular importance is how long people spend on your page and whether they click on your internal links. Are they reading your content and engaging with it? Make sure that you aren't driving visitors away by keeping ads to a minimum, spacing out your content, and using engaging language that will draw them in. The aim is to reduce your bounce rates, which represent the number of people that leave your site almost immediately after visiting. The most important to reduce this metric is to make sure your content is engaging and interesting. That means it should have an emotional hook. If it's informational, it should provide information in a direct and engaging manner to really bring people in. Social media as a source of big traffic. Promoting yourself on social media gives you a direct method to engage with your audience and to gain likes and shares. Better yet, your content can spread through the interconnected real-world social networks of your followers. The best place to do this? Facebook. Here's how you get started. Facebook Marketing Explained. Facebook remains the biggest and most popular social network on the web by far. We've all heard the incredible popular statistics by now. Facebook has more users than the population of any country in the world. There are over 1.94 billion users on Facebook active each month. In short, Facebook is an absolute no-brainer for marketers. This is one of the most effective places to find new clients, new fans, and new customers. So the question is, how? Creating a winning Facebook page. Before you can begin Facebook marketing, the first thing you need to do is to create a Facebook page. Your page is going to be the hub of all your activity on the platform, and it will be where your fans can stop by in order to learn more about you or to check out what you've posted recently. Creating engaging content. The next thing you need to understand is how to create engaging content for your page and how to make sure that your fans are getting value in exchange for their loyalty. Value on Facebook comes from entertainment, from information, and from things like discounts and free giveaways. If you aren't offering one of these things through a post, then you are wasting your fans' time, and there's a high chance they'll leave after not too long. Ways to create engaging content. So, how do you create engaging content that people will want to read, like, and share? The limitation here is largely the format. While you can write long posts on Facebook, research shows that the optimal length is 40 characters if you are looking for engagement. People do not come to Facebook to read, and so anything beyond that is simply going to be glossed over. And thus, you have a few other options. Share other types of media such as videos and images, or post links to external content. Communication. Remember as well that social media is first and foremost a tool of communication. This is a platform where friends can speak to one another and where brands can reach out to their audience. In other words, if you want to take full advantage of the features of Facebook, then you need to use it as a communication tool as well. Instagram, Twitter, and beyond. The same rules apply across social media. The aim is to make sure you are providing value by considering your target audience. Build a community by discussing topics that apply to a specific niche, and by making sure that everything you create is high quality and high value. The missing ingredients: branding and messaging. Google has stated that in recent versions of its algorithm, brands are valued more highly as compared to keywords. At first, this was met with some disappointment. Would that mean that sites built by big companies would do extremely well, while those smaller businesses and entrepreneurs struggled? Of course, this is not what Google meant. Instead, Google meant that it wanted to see websites create brands for themselves and not just try to target a single keyword. This makes sense when you consider what a brand really is: a commitment to an ideal, a specific goal, and a promise to your audience. Branding as it relates to Facebook marketing. This is one of the most crucial early decisions that you will make when beginning your Facebook marketing campaign. Your branding, of course, refers to your logo and cover image, but it also applies to your page name and to the tone and quality throughout. A brand is essentially a mark of quality, and it should tell the visitor exactly what they can expect. This is important because it's what's going to make your page worth subscribing to. Think about it. If it's vague what a Facebook page is all about, or what kind of content it will be sharing, then you won't know whether it's something that you're likely to be interested in or not. As a result, you would be unlikely to follow it. On the other hand, though, if you visit a Facebook page and you see that they are all about a subject you love, and that each post is consistently high quality and entertaining. Then you'll know what you're getting and you'll be keen to subscribe. Branding your website. The same thing applies to your website, of course. You need to make sure that your site loudly communicates what it's about and who it's for. That means, once more, identifying your target audience and making sure that every aspect of your website, your content, and even your marketing speaks to that audience and carries the message you want to convey. That means being consistent, and most importantly, it means having something to say. This is the difference, the secret sauce that makes the most successful websites successful. It's also why hundreds of websites never achieve their full potential. Too many websites exist simply to make money. The creators of these websites will look at the market and will identify niches or products they think can make them money. Your logo, the site design, the content, and the marketing. All of it stays on brand and on message. This is the key to building traffic. This is the single most important decision you will make. So follow your passion, build a brand, and know your audience. The user experience. Something that goes overlooked all too often is the importance of creating a great user experience. That doesn't just mean providing great content. It also means creating a great website. That means a website that is quick to load, that looks great on mobile. Remember, this is the future of Google, and that is easy to navigate. If your website looks outdated, if it's slow to load, or if it's unsecure, then it's going to put visitors off of using your site. What's more is that Google will see these metrics, and it will avoid recommending your site as often. That's why Google now has a number of tools and methods to test the quality of a website UX. Google PageSpeed Insights is an extremely important site that will let you enter your URL and then get a score based on how quickly your site loads. If this is very slow, then it's going to be extremely detrimental to your ranking. The good news is that the site also provides a number of actionable and bespoke tips that you can use to speed up your pages. Some common tips include: switch to a faster server to improve server response time. That's right, invest in your business. Remove unnecessary plugins and widgets. Less is definitely more. Compress your images. Update your version of PHP. Some more general tips for creating a responsive site that people trust and enjoy spending time on. Use WordPress. There's simply no reason not to, as this is the most popular content management system site building on the web, powering 1/4 of websites, and is also completely free and easy to use. Get an SSL certificate. If you want people to buy through your website, then you don't want Google to tell them that your site is not secure. Once you've done this, you'll have an HTTPS by your URL, which improves confidence and massively boosts conversion rates. Pay for a WordPress theme. This is another very important investment. You'll be able to install this easily, and it's much cheaper than hiring someone to build something bespoke. But you'll also find it's more unique and better made than all the free options. You also need to ensure your site is mobile-friendly. This means it should load well on mobile, adapt to different screen sizes, and not feature old-fashioned features like mouse overs. You can't detect someone hovering their finger over a button. Again, Google comes to the rescue with their mobile-friendly test website. The easiest way to implement a responsive website design with touch-friendly buttons? Use a ready-made premium WordPress theme. Growth hacks that really work. Once you have the foundations in place, all that's left is to start finding ways to drive more and more traffic. Influencer marketing. Influencer marketing is one of the very best ways to grow your site quickly. The idea is simple. You approach a big website, social media account, or similar, and ask them to give you a shout-out or to promote one another. This works in all forms of social media and on the web at large. The mistake people make? Trying to contact the biggest websites on the net, who have nothing to gain from linking to you and plenty to lose. not to mention having inboxes filled with thousands of emails every day. Your strategy then should be to approach a blogger or website that has the same number of visitors as you, approximately. Once you've agreed to promote one another, you can then gain some of their visitors, giving you slightly more clout to approach the next influencer. Find a USP, be really niche. Here's the good news. In order to be a massive success, you have two options. One option is to do something the best. Unfortunately, that usually means you need money. The other option, though, is to do something unique. This way, you can stand out just as much and generate just as much attention. In fact, if you're different enough, then you won't even need to market yourself. A unique selling point that's something entirely unique to your business that can help you stand out and to be the more appealing proposition, even compared to more established competition. Post to multiple social media sites automatically. If you want to maximize the benefits you get from your social media activities, then it's a good idea to cross-post to multiple sites. For example, you can make each of your Twitter posts also appear as Facebook posts, and vice versa. If you manage a lot of pages, then this will make your life a lot easier. Reshare evergreen content. Another great tip is to promote your evergreen content. In other words, if you have a fitness site that has years' worth of content on it, then there's no reason you can't go back through the archives from time to time and share old posts again. For the most part, your followers won't even notice this is old content. Remember that only 6% of them saw it the first time. That means you can use this as a great way to get some clicks. Use social plugins. Speaking of WordPress, make sure to use social plugins that will allow people to quickly and easily visit your Facebook page. You should have buttons right on your homepage that will take your visitors to your Facebook page, or even use a plugin so that they can like your page right from your right-hand column. Each new visitor to your blog who becomes a fan might like your page, and each new like can bring more people back to the site. Conclusions. Knowing your goal. We have covered some of the most important strategies and tips to understand if you want to build traffic and grow your site and business. The most important point to remember through all this is that the quality of traffic matters just as much, and that real traffic only comes to a website that is built well. The quality check. One of the most important checks you can run for your site is to ask yourself if you would genuinely read the content you post. We spoke about this earlier, and that's really the difference between generic content and content that really understands the target audience. The best target audience? People just like you. But there is another crucial way to check that you're on the right path, and that's to ask if your site can genuinely compete with the very best in your broader niche. You should have carved out your own USP and your own demographic. Look for sites in your niche that you aspire to be like, and ask if your site is as good. If there is any component that is not, then you need to invest the cash to change that. That means making sure your logo looks just as good and crisp, and hiring someone to redesign it if not. It means making sure your content is as engaging. This is the difference between the serious players and those that never grow. Think about the sites you read on a daily basis. Those are the ones that are earning the serious money. If nothing else, remember that the big websites won't want to link to you if your site looks in any way amateurish. Action points. With that main idea in place, the rest boils down to simple activities we have already discussed, alongside the more specific growth hacks that you can do on top. Those are: research your keywords. Make sure to post regular content on your website. Share with social media. Provide value. Build links. Look at competitor backlinks. Ensure your site is fast, fluid, and well-designed. Write unique content that stands out. Use influencer marketing. Use social sharing buttons. Reshare your old content. If you keep doing these things and maintain a focus on delivering unique, high-quality content, then the rest is just extra. This is the foundational strategy you should be using to grow traffic to your site. Now, go forth and build that traffic.